Let's go. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is my client, JT Pells. He has been making some pretty remarkable transformations in a really short period of time. I'm so excited to share this with you guys today. Okay, JT, thank you so much for coming on the show. Can you please just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're doing nowadays?
Yeah, definitely. My name's JT. I've been working in public accounting for a few years now, and slowly starting to venture off into get my own book of clients. Started this journey back in, what was it, September, October of last year, really pushing hard. I was getting a lot of clients that were smaller, that were paying like $30 an hour, or just really small clients. And then after working with Bryce, was able to get a few clients paying me $750 a month, and now $800 a month. So, and about ready to leave my full-time job. I see the finish line, and it's coming up.
So let's kind of like go back to the beginning. You mentioned something about like the $30 per hour type clients. I think where were you getting them before? What were some of the things that you were facing, and why was it so hard to get more higher ticket clients?
So I started out just going to Upwork, which a lot of people do, and I call that a race to the bottom because there's 50 people at least applying for the same job, and the only way you can really differentiate yourself is by saying, "Oh, I'll do it for free. I'll do it for less," and then basically you're just going to the bottom. So that's kind of where I was finding them, and I had never thought about like using Facebook or LinkedIn and other social media to get clients and to find clients that are interested in you rather than trying to apply for jobs. So that's made it a lot easier now, and I'm able to get, a lot more sales calls a week, and it's just getting those reps, getting better at, what you're saying. Like I pretty much have a script of what I'm going to say to people, and sometimes it veers off, but it's generally pretty smooth sailing.
And then, even with on Upwork, I think you were also getting people who were coming to you, but it was like they weren't the right people to pay more than like 300 or even 150 a month. Can you talk about some of that? Like, why were the people that you were seeing just not willing to invest, or why were they not able to?
I think a lot of it is that if you use Upwork a lot, or sites like, I think Fiverr is another one, I think it incentivizes both parties to seek lower prices because they say, like, even if because you can on Upwork, they can come to you and say, "Oh, I've got this offer for you," but then you'll also see that like 10 of the people are also have that same offer. So the problem is that, and you don't know what and I think it actually incentivizes you to lower your price because you're like, man, I don't even know what they're saying. So it's like, oh shoot, they're probably charging this much. So it's like, I'll do it for $20. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay. So I think that's what happened. I think that's like why those platforms, even if people come to you, it still kind of incentivizes you to lower your price because you don't know what you're bidding against.
Yeah. And even before, why did you get started in this business? I think we've shared a powerful story about what's your why and why you're doing it. Can you just share that with us?
Yeah, kind of the why. I've always said that being in public accounting, like you can't go to opening day. I'm a big baseball fan, and my goal was to be able to go to opening day 2022, and it's going to happen. So it was going to be this year, but obviously I don't know if fans are going to be there. So it's just easier, and it's still working my full-time job. So that kind of takes a lot of time. But next year I will be at opening day somewhere. I haven't decided the park, but I will be there. That was honestly one of the biggest reasons why, amongst others. But that's the goal I've been shooting for.
Yeah, I think you were talking about like there was another person who was in the same office. They quit their
Yep.
job. You saw them, and it's like, can you talk about that?
Yep. That too. So I had as a colleague of mine one year. So she wasn't a CPA. I'm a CPA, and I think I just asked her, like, oh, like, because I knew was getting clients on her own, but I didn't know that she had quit. And I said, oh, how are you doing this with busy season? It seems like you got a lot of clients. She's like, oh, I quit. I said, what? She's like, yeah, I don't work at where I used to work. And I said, really? And she's like, yeah, you need to do this. She's like, you're a CPA. You could probably charge 2-3 times what I'm doing. She's like, I can't. I'm not a CPA. So that also lit a fire too. It's just like, I'm like, man, if she's doing this, like, what? Like, why can't I do this? And I tell people now too that are in my position, I say, you guys can do this. Like, I'm not any more special than anybody else. I just basically do what Bryce tells me, and I do it. He's built a firm. He's in public accounting. Like, he knows. Like, so I'm like, why would I veer from that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. So where did we first meet, or how did you hear about me?
So I think you messaged me on Facebook and said, basically just kind of, saying what's up. And you said, you said, I'd love to share some tricks of the trade with you. And I was like, okay. And then you sent me a video, a testimonial before that of you and Sharon, or one of your clients, working and saying, how successful you guys have been and how you helped her. Basically, kind of same thing. She's like, I just listened to Bryce, like he tells me what to do and I do it. And I was like, and I even like going into the call, like I was like pretty much sold. I think on the call we talked about, I think I had to get my card. I left it in the other room, and like I was ready. So I just like the video kind of warmed me up, and just seeing other reviews, I'm like let's do it. Like you know what's up.
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about that later, but it's like, yeah, we can talk, we can come back to that point, because there's
Okay.
something I'm gonna bring back, and it's gonna show you why you're doing so well, and it's based on that.
Okay.
All
right.
So kind of like a lot of people watching, they might be at a full-time job, or they might have time as a constraint. What made you, even though you had a full-time job in public accounting, decide to like push through and even join this program, even though time was really tight for you?
I think the biggest thing internally for me was I had my why. Like I know what I want, and you make time. I wish I wish I had like a magic sauce for like, you make time. I mean, I schedule my day out and I say, okay, I'm going to come into the office early. I have to get like my client work done, and then I do my client work, and you just kind of have a system, and you do it. And I'm still meeting with my own clients, and we're starting to film testimonials now, and it's just, the ball's really rolling, and it's just, I kind of just have it systemized. I mean, as kooky or as a cookie cutter as it sounds, that's kind of it. I just keep my eye on the prize.
And then, yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about like how your confidence increased? Because I think you're a different person. Like when we first started and you were doing your first couple of sales calls, it was like all over the place when you were talking. But I think you're a lot more confident. Like you're like a rock now. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Definitely. I think it's just like seeing like more positive things happening. And I think the first client we got for 750, this was back in it's October, November. And I think I sent you a recording. I was like, dude, that was like so easy. Like she like wanted it. Like it wasn't like crazy. Like I basically said the price, and I was kind of like, oh shoot, 750. I don't know. But I just set, and you told me like, just say it, be confident. Like you're a CPA, like of course they're going to pay that. And then like, once that kind of happened, I was like, okay, like I got this now. And I think even like you were saying, like it's definitely more confident in calls, because I was always like, I think I always looked at it from like how long something takes me. So I was like, oh well, this is easy for me. So I was like, I don't know, I charge 750, instead of like thinking like, well, wait a minute, you're providing all this value, you're saving them time, you're like, they don't have time to do this. So I started thinking of it from that way, not how much time I'm saving them, but how much value I'm giving. So now it's like, I have now, when I sell people at 750, like there's no funk, and nobody's ever given me pushback. Some people come out and they just say, oh, like I can't afford it right now. And I say, that's okay. Like, and I think before I would have been like, oh, I'll do it for free. Like, or, I would have panicked, but now it's like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's stay in touch. And like, I have a list of people. I just kind of pick, if they say that, because a lot of people, like when I say that, they'll say, oh, I really want to work with you, but I just don't have the funds. And, and you've told me like some people don't have it, and that's okay. So I just have a list of people. I just, make sure I stay in touch with them. Hey, Aaron, hey, so-and-so, like, how are things going? Just want to make sure if you have any questions, I'm here. And even that's like really helped. Like there was actually one lady that came back to me because of that. Cause it wasn't like every day, just, every once in a while, like, hey, Yolanda, you want to make sure you need help. And she was like, and then when we finally got on a call, this was in January, she basically said, she's like, I want you on board. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So and she paid a little bit up front. So we gave her a discount for the first year because she was like, yeah, like I'm ready. I'm like, okay. So and we built it in. So I said, yeah, the next year it goes up to 750. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of like you said, like you get that momentum going, and people like start seeing you out there as like a competent and a thought leader, or I don't know if thought leader is the right word, but it's just see you like, oh, like you really know what you're doing. And now like it's almost like people are coming to me in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of cool things. Like for those watching, like you don't have to be a CPA to know that like your value's worth it. The thing about when you was talking about the time, how much time it actually takes you, that's irrelevant for some of these people, as JT's starting to see when he does some QuickBook trainings. The amount of time savings, the amount of headaches that you save these people is well worth whatever you're charging them. And it's just like, can you tell them that up front? I think there's a couple things we can go to, because the next place we can go is your sales skills. Because, you know, it's actually started in some cases to be a detriment to us getting to that 10K per month level. Because, you know, people just have trouble saying no to you now. And they put down that deposit, right?
It seems like it. I've gotten a few people that even say something like, they're like, oh, like the one client I signed this week, they're a new nonprofit. They have a fiscal sponsor, and they're like, yeah, we have this big event in May, and that's like we're opening up a membership site. And she's like, you know, I think we're gonna get like, you know, a bunch of people paying us, you know, a little bit a month. So she's like, is it okay if we start in May? And I said, yeah, that's fine. I said, yeah. She's like, what do you need to start? I said, I just need 1 month. I said, so like, you'll pay for May up front, and then we'll get going. And she was like, yeah, done. Send me. She actually told me, she's like, send me the PayPal link. I was like, oh. Normally I was a little nervous to be like, oh, well, let's take care of it now. But she was like, I'm finding that now that people are like, yeah, like I see the value, like I see what you mean. So it's becoming that way. I don't know if it's probably like the way I talk, the way I appear. And I've had a few people recently tell me, potential clients, they're like, yeah, you're just like really easy to talk to. Like you don't like try to use these big words. You don't try to like make it more complicated than it is. You basically say like, I know what I'm doing. I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to help you save time and let you do what you're good at. There's no reason to get bogged down by things that just give you headaches.
Yeah. You know, there's a couple of places too, because it's like, it's almost like, because right now, you'd probably, when we were going back, you probably would be at like $9,000 a month already if those people who came on the phone and put down a deposit actually were going monthly now. So I think you have like six people who did that, who put down the deposit.
Yes. Nope, exactly. Yeah, there's a few people that have the deposit that I'm not kind of like counting as monthly income.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's, yeah, I mean, it could be closer to that. So that's kind of what's on board right now. So we're moving. We're making things happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I think you were telling me like you sent me the text messages like, dude, I think it was more than $3,000 this week you collected.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's
I was like,
it's pretty good. Yeah. I got a yeah. So funny thing was I got like a $4,100 payment this week, and then on top of these two, so that on top of those few, so it's so that was an outstanding invoice going back, and I knew they were gonna pay. It was just like there's kind of one of those people, but so that was a nice bump. I'm like, oh, I woke up to an alert on my phone like, you just received X amount from so and so. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, wow. So so they're all caught up. So yeah, it's happening quick. It's coming through.
Yeah, it's almost like inside the program, for those who don't know, we call it the local star process. It's how you can start really getting people to start respecting you and educating people on why they should work with you before they get on the phone. So whenever you hear JT talking about how easy these calls are, it's generally because if you put in the right types of work, you know how to help people out in advance. You know how to put up your profiles in a way that shows what you do and what your worth is. They get on the phone and then they're like, you're the only person I want to work with. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like when that guy a couple of weeks ago said, stop selling me, man. I want to work with you, brother.
No, that was a good one. Yeah. So that was one. I told him what it costs, and it's kind of the same one. He's like, yeah, I can't afford it right now, but he's like, I want to work with you. Like it was like one of the first, like it was within like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. And then at that point, it was just like a conversation between the two of us. Yeah. But yeah, it was the same thing. I think it was through LinkedIn, but I'm sure he probably went to my Facebook page because I have a link in there, and he probably just watched a testimonial or just kind of saw some things. And yeah, it's like all of a sudden, like they're almost like warm leads coming in.
Yeah. And they start off as strangers like 3 days prior.
Yep.
It's it's ridiculous. And then I think you were telling me like that's happening on average. Like your sales calls have gone from, I think, 45 minutes when you first started, and I think they're getting closer to like 20 to 30 minutes long.
Yeah, they're getting quicker. I think it's more that I know like kind of what to say. because I think what I, or not I think, I know what I used to do. I would say like, oh, like, well, I'll reconcile your bank. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll link it. And I think most people know like that that's like standard. I used to be like, oh, I need to like over explain myself and see.
Yeah.
But now like I'm trying to focus on like well, one of the first things I ask people is like, what caused you to schedule this? And I say, you took time out of your busy day. What caused you to say I need to talk to you? And then that kind of like gets them thinking. It's like, oh yeah, I'm like in a really bad place. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. So it's kind of, and you've told me like, yeah, like when you're talking, and I'm talking a little faster right now, but you said, slow down when you're talking, have that pause when they're talking. Don't feel like you have to jump in. So I think that's helped, and that like they start filling in the silent gaps.
Yeah.
And they start talking, and before they know it, it's like, oh, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's kind of why I like working with you, because like you help me remember things that like I internalized like 4 years ago when we started doing really well, but then it's just like, oh yeah, that's why I do it. I'm like that specific question, what inspired you to book a call, or what motivated you to book a call? When I first got started, I was so scared to ask that question, because some of the questions I tell you to ask are like really direct. And for a regular person, it's like, you can't say that to somebody, but it works.
No, you definitely can. I've noticed that like if you just come across like genuine and you're yourself, you can, I don't know, get away with a lot is not the right word, but like you don't have to be scared. Like most people, I've learned that like most people know what the problem is. Mm-hmm. It's just you kind of helping them solve that problem essentially. Like though, like they didn't call because they wanted to hear me talk. Maybe they did, but yeah, like I've come to learn is that most people know what their problems are. They just kind of need some guidance to help solving those problems.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean that's why you going from where you are now to getting to 10 grand, I think it should take like maybe another month and a half, maybe 2 months. Like it might.
I think so.
No, yeah. It might sound weird now, but it's like trust me, like how much legwork you've been putting in and how people are starting to react to you now. It's just like it just keeps getting easier and easier, especially as the economy improves and people feel the economy improves. I mean, because right now you're doing this in a time where people are scared to spend money. So it's like, so let me ask you this question. I guess what's next for you? Like what do you want to do next?
Next would be one, kind of keep pushing, building the momentum, but eventually I do want to hire people to kind of, I don't know if to work under me or work with me, but just to, because at some point I'm going to be at a capacity. Like I only have so many hours in the day. And then part of it also too is to have the freedom to like just work when I want and do more things. So I can kind of, I don't know if duplicate myself is the right word, but definitely is getting somebody under me, whether it's like part-time or something. That's definitely the goal long term, and just kind of keep pushing, really.
Yeah. Can you ask this question? It's a little bit interesting. So what areas of your like kind of your business and your life have improved, and like by how much would you say?
I would say like I think like a lot of confidence, like just like knowing that like I'm there. Like I think I've given you the analogy. I'm like that kid that's like climbing the fence and just needs that last push to get over. So a lot of it is that I'm there, but yeah, just kind of like more confident in life. I kind of like relax a little bit because like I'm having dual income now for the first time ever. And it's like kind of cool to see it. But like, and this is like cool. It's like, I created this. Like, this is like for me, I didn't, like nobody else did it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man. Like once you understand it and like, it's ridiculous. So I guess this question is like, why did you decide to even work with me, or why did you decide to get on the call and, decide to join the program?
I think the biggest thing was like, the biggest thing I liked is that you're in public accounting, you're a CPA. So like and the other thing I liked is that, it was like, I think the first thing you said to me on the call was like, we do things a little differently. And I was like, and that like caught my mind. Cause I was like, okay, I don't want to do the same things that like, everybody else is doing. So it just kind of like, I just liked the way it was, and I saw some testimonials, and it just like I was ready to go. And the one thing I've learned is that kind of working for myself now is that like let other people help you. like they know. And I think I've heard somebody say once, I didn't come up with this, was that wise people, or no, smart people learn from their own mistakes, wise people learn from others. So I was like, well, Bryce has done this, so I would be a fool to like not go with him. Like it's basically, I think I hit it on a few videos of yours. I said basically I do what you tell me, and it works. It just you just keep at it, and like you said, just keep at it, keep chipping away, and it's gonna happen. So basically, that's it. I listen to you, and that's what I do. Is I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not trying to freestyle anything. It's
Yeah.
like tried and true.
Yeah. And then like even then with like, because when you signed up for the program, like you paid without hesitation. There was no questions. There it's like you were just sure. And now the reason why I even bring that up is because aren't you finding that people are the same way when they pay you?
They are, yeah. I remember you telling me like I think one of the first times like like ask for people to pay on the phone, and in my head I said yeah, but in my head I'm like, oh man, that's like really like, ballsy to do that. But I something hit me, and it was a lot what you said, but this actually kind of happened like in my personal life. I bought tickets to a hockey team out here, and they were like, and, we went through, and I said, yeah, I want to get a 5-game package. I'm like, great, we'll take payment. And like I didn't think about it, and then all of a sudden it clicked. I'm like, wait a minute, they're asking for payment. Why can I? Like I'm a business. Like what? Like what's any different? So I just said that, and I think people realize that they're like, yeah, like this is a business. Like you don't like it's no different than like going to a restaurant. You don't walk out and say I'll pay in 2 weeks. Like no, I'll pay now. So I think that is, and a lot what you said, like just hammered it home. So like I have no qualms now asking, because I know I'm a business. Like this is what I do.
Let me ask, like, would you recommend that other people actually work with me?
100%. Like, well, I would ask them like, what are you waiting for? Like I've had you've had me talk to people I talk to you, and I sing your praise. I say, hey, if you do what he says and you put in the work, like good things will happen. You keep at it, and that's really it.
Mhm.
There's no mystery. There's no mystery to anything. So
Yeah, no secrets. It's just do this simple work repeatedly.
exactly. No, it's consistent. Like, and I think you told me like, yeah, like there are going to be a lot of people that say no to you. That's fine. Like, that's okay. Like, don't, because I used to take it more personal, but now I think it's just because I have so many people coming. It's like, oh, if this person says no, like I've got 20 people in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And I want to keep that going because obviously people come and go through attrition. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous, especially because now I think you were saying like you were getting on some weeks like 5 to 7 calls a week.
yeah, so 2 weeks. This was 2 weeks ago. I think I had 6 in a week. So I was like, last week I was at a client for my job, so it was a little bit harder to do, but still did one last week. So, but yeah, this week got 2 more. So just because we're getting busier, so it's just kind of harder to like get time during the day to do it. But yeah, I mean, you can. It's basically like how much work I want to put in, and just constantly just getting people on the phone. That's the biggest thing, is just getting people on the phone.
Mm.
That's kind of the game changer.
Yeah. Excellent. So let me ask you this question. So like, where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook at my name, JT Pells. I'm like that. LinkedIn is the best. They could email me, or so I'm available. And I always tell clients, I've got good ones. I say, you can email me anytime. Like it's unlimited, and nobody's ever abused it, so it's been good. So yeah, that's where people can find me. So if I've got great clients, great stable. So
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Like, it's simple. It's on your own times. You don't need any complicated marketing. Like, you haven't even posted on social media yet.
I hardly have. I'm not good at that. I don't do it all the time. So
Uh,
I need to get more consistent, just a little bit, so people see me. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think I keep it all professional. I think I posted a testimonial, I think like a week or two ago, and that's kind of brought in a few calls. And then I'm doing a webinar
Mm.
um, next week. Oh, that's a crazy thing. So just kind of telling people, I think we skipped over this, but I did one in December. Basically, and I work with nonprofits, and a consultant reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got this membership group. I want to have an accountant on. What do you think?" I'm like, "Sure." Like they reached out to me. It's probably just from seeing me being active, or like I didn't know them. I didn't reach out, and then I reached out to another consultant that had reached out to me and said, hey, I did this webinar with, person X, this is what we covered. Like, would you be interested? And she's like, yes, 100%. So that's another one. And yeah. So it's just, and on the webinar, like people told me like, oh, like, you make it really easy. Like, I don't get it real technical with people because I want them to hire me. I don't need to show them how smart I am or how much I know. So, but yeah, I mean, it's worked out really well.
Yeah. Excellent. So it's like, no, you don't even have a website yet. It's just literally just do this little stuff, do it well. People want to work with you. People start asking for your help. They start asking you to talk to their friends. Then they start paying you money. Their friends pay you money. They come back and want to pay even more money because you've been helping all these people out. And you're sitting at 10 grand a month in under 6 months.
Exactly. No, it's like I said, it's the amount of work you want to put in. If you want to do it, you'll do it. That's kind of the only way I can say it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you'll do it. Just stay on the train. Don't veer. Don't get into like you said, I don't have a website. I'm gonna get one. It's just haven't done it yet. Well, it's kind of like, well,
you don't need it.
I don't know if I need it, but part of me, I am a little self-conscious when I send people like, oh, like, here's my Gmail account. It's like, shit. But like, it hasn't really hurt me. I don't think anybody's like, this guy's got Gmail. Like, oh no, hell no. But yeah, it's worked. So it's it's a crazy ride. So website is coming. It's just taking a little bit more time than I
I mean, if you want, we can do two things. We could, one, just get you like a Google email, like one that has like a website domain email, so JT at the website, and do it like that. Or if you want, I can just have one of my virtual assistants build a website for you. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Whatever you need.
It's the easy thing. Yeah, it's easy. So that's the thing here.
Okay. That's how it should be. You do it hard, and your life is easy. Or you can go try and figure everything out yourself, and your life is hard.
No, exactly.
That's JT in a nutshell. Go align with someone who's done it before. Follow what they say without asking a million questions about why. Do the action. Do it wrong in some cases, but wrong action is better than no action, and you're good. So I really appreciate your time, JT. It's been a joy to work with you. I'm so excited for you and your progress. I just can't wait to keep seeing how much further you go. We talked in private about how much I think you can do, and it's one of those things. So I really appreciate you.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I can't, anytime can get on the phone and help a potential client with you, it's nothing. That's light work.
Yeah. Man, excellent. So I appreciate your time. I'll talk to you soon. I will see you later. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1 and